This is absolutely insane, and you need to start to pay attention. Our leaders think that we have economic strength right now, and America got downgraded, and they're just shrugging it off. In today's video, I'm going to break that down. I'm going to show you how they're bringing in a central bank digital currency. Now, remember, I will never proactively DM you. Those are all scammers. We do not invest people's money. We have an education academy where we show you our exact blueprint of what we've been doing since 2020. We've helped over 7,000 warriors worldwide in the description down below. Also, I'm a licensed insurance agent. I have a team of agents all over the United States helping you with the Index Universal Life Infinity Banking concept. So if you're a little confused about retirement, or you don't have a retirement plan, or you're wondering what's going on with the 401k, or you just need support to talk to somebody, click the link down below. You do a free consultation with my team. Now, remember, the Academy is an education academy. We help with crypto, blockchain, business, 120-day challenge. And then the free consultation is around Index Universal Life and my insurance team. So I just want to clarify that with you. I will never ask you to send me money. Those are all scammers. I hate that I have to do this on every video, but I want to protect you guys because I love you. All right, so let's dive right into this. So Janet Yellen doubles down on criticism of Fitch's U.S. credit downgrade. This should be really, really concerning to you guys. So Yellen said, well, let's listen to what she said, actually. Let's just listen to what she said. Now, pay attention to this, guys. Go look at all Janet Yellen's interviews. All she's doing is reading off a sheet of paper. This is the stuff we need to be paying attention to, okay? America got downgraded. The number one most dominant country in the world got downgraded from AAA to AA plus. So imagine if you went from an 800 credit score down to a 600, what would happen to your credit rating, or you're deemed a good creditor within the system? We have to borrow for critical services, family. We're at 120% debt income ratio. Yes, I'm going to repeat the same things over and over until this is ingrained in your subconscious mind. 33% of our debt is held outside the United States, and we have to borrow for critical services. So now that when we borrow, America has a higher interest rate because we just got downgraded, and they're shocked that we're downgraded. Janet Yellen is going to tell you, right? Let's listen to what she says, and I'm going to tell you how insane this is, how clueless they are, or they are moving us into a new monetary system.
Fitch's decision is puzzling in light of the economic strength we see in the United States.
Puzzling?
I strongly disagree with Fitch's decision, and I believe it is entirely unwarranted.
Do you strongly disbelieve, or are you just reading a piece of paper?
Flawed assessment is based on outdated data and fails to reflect improvements across a range of indicators, including those related to governance, that we've seen over the past 2.5 years. Despite the gridlock, we've seen both parties come together to pass legislation to resolve the debt limit, as well as to make historic investments in our infrastructure and American competitiveness. Fiscal responsibility is a priority for President Biden and me. Earlier this year, the president.
Okay, so she just goes down and breaks this down. I'm going to show you what Rosie Rios says around a central bank. Guys, what this shows me is that the can's been kicked down the road. Our president is now handing over the power of America, moving us into a new global currency, which is going to be a central bank digital currency. And so your job navigating this is trying to understand what the new infrastructure of the financial systems be, and you get the opportunity to invest in it. Your job is to pick as many winners as you can. You're not going to pick all the winners. Everybody's speculating. Be very careful when you're listening to people online, to include myself, guys. I'm speculating based on research. That's all we're doing. I don't know. She's just reading off a piece of paper. That's the person who controls our economic system. Jerome Powell told you he's worried about the middle class getting wiped out, leveraged towards technology. He told you that in 2020, 2021, and then they jacked up interest rates. It's literally problem, reaction, solution. We're here now, guys. And these people are running on this candidacy for 2024 that they're going to stop a central bank digital currency. They don't make that decision, guys. They don't make that decision. The bankers make that decision. So let's listen to what Rosie Rios has to say. I've played this video over and over again, but I really want this ingrained in your subconscious mind around a central bank digital currency and where we're heading. She's the 43rd Treasurer of the United States. She's on the board of Ripple. She said she's responsible for bringing in a new form of currency. And she was told in 2012 to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't because of GDP growth, because of the printing machine was turned on full blast. And she said, you need a shock to the system to change. consumer behaviors.
February of last year. And the purpose of this executive order, excuse me, it was March of last year. The purpose of this executive order was to encourage regulators to ensure sufficient oversight, encourage the Financial Stability Oversight Council to identify and mitigate financial risks, directs and coordinated action across agencies to mitigate illicit financing, promote safe and affordable financial services, and explore, yes, a U.S. central bank digital currency. Now, you may know that over 80% of developed countries right now are looking at a central bank digital currency. It will happen, and it will happen in the U.S., but it is absolutely going to take some time.
So it will happen. It will happen in the US. The 43rd Treasury of the United States that was tapped by President Biden, who was, I think, tapped by Obama as well, okay, is part of the board of Ripple. These are just facts, figures, numbers, logic, guys. The SEC is now going after decentralized people who created, the Richard Hart thing is a great example. I'm not saying I support the going after people that did decentralized things. What I'm saying is these are facts. This is what's happening. Okay, so here's the fact sheet. President Biden signs executive order on ensuring responsible development of digital currencies in March 9th, 2022. This is what she was talking about, okay? It says protect U.S. consumers, investors, and business, protect U.S. global financial stability, and mitigate systemic risk, mitigate the illicit finance of national risk. So this was back in March, 2022, right? When they were collapsing a stable coin, two exchanges collapsed. Now you got the BIS in 2023 giving global regulation. And as Rosie Rios says, it's not if, it's when we're moving into a central bank digital currency. So if we go back to 2015 in the World Economic Forum, it says, what is the future of money? This is 2015. Remember 2012, the FOMC was created in America, which is the Future Oversight Committee of Non-Bank Financial Institutions. Rosie Rios was told to reduce coin and cash uses in 2012. They created the Obama plan, which turned the printing machine on full blast. We also had the bank bailing committees that were created. Now, Jay Clayton sits on the board for the bank bailing committees in 2022, is the one that initiated the case against Ripple. I could go all through all the logical circuit if you want to. Everything has its own time. Everything sprouts, everything grows, it withers and disappears. This is the cycle of life. And the same process also applies to money in the way you obtain it. Key investment strategy. You open your wallet and see a dime. The coin is physical. You pick it up and hold it in your hand, and you're confident that it actually has value of 10 cents. In a few years, you will most likely be holding a small piece plastic item shaped as a heart or a star, or you might even have a wallet and only have access to virtual currency. That's weird. Which you do not know what it looks like. You have to be prepared for financial revolution in the next 10 to 15 years. Money as we know it will only exist relatively. Money as we know it will only exist for relatively few more years or few years. The first banknote was printed in France in 17th century. More recently, however, currencies have started to disappear, and more than 600 in the last 30 years. The trend continues. That was weird. Let's read that one more time. In a few years, you will most likely be holding a small plastic item shaped as a heart or a star. Interesting. Or you might not even have a wallet and only have access to a virtual currency, which you do not know what it looks like. You have to prepare for financial. Wow. Interesting. The heart and star thing. That will manifest. Let's put that into our logical circuit, okay? So this is 2022, the future of money, gearing up for central bank digital currencies. I'm just showing you this is the International Monetary Fund. All these, I'm not bashing the presidential candidates. What I'm saying is they can say whatever they want in their presidential trail or whatever it is, their campaign the next year. Guys, CBDC is coming, man. It's coming. So we got to figure out what the infrastructure is going to be. We got to figure out how to invest in it. We got to figure out how to move our investments so that we can free our family and have the resources we need to support and grow generational wealth so that we don't have, I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. Sovereignty is here and here. Central bank. I always say that a lot. I'm not going to get into that. Maybe I should just get into it. This is on January 16, 2023. Central bank digital currencies are coming, whether countries are ready or not. And so let's dive in. This is the Federal Reserve website here, okay? Frequently asked questions around a central bank digital currency. It's not if, it says why. Why is the Federal Reserve considering a CBDC now? Why? Why? Not if, not when, why, how, what time, what timeline, what regulation. We can argue back and forth around invisible enemy. Janet Yellen's just reading off a piece of paper. Biden's reading off a script. It's a script that America is now handing over superpower of the dominant currency, which is called the US dollar, to a global monetary system, which is going to be regulated by a bag of currencies. It's going to run through blockchain technology. There's going to be on-demand liquidity 24/7, 7 days a week. And the next 10 years, the very thing you're arguing about is going to be the very thing you're going to be using without even knowing it. Facts. The thing you're arguing about and the thing you're resisting, instead of going after an invisible enemy, in the beginning is the end. Take action. Take action. Create a budget. Free up some cash flow. If you have 2 cars, go down to 1. If you have a $700 car payments, why? Get rid of a car. Drive a hoopty for a year. Drive a hoopty for 2 to 3 years. If you can downsize, your family can move in together, save some money. Come back into the family structure. Get a relationship with God. Start to read the Bible. Start to understand what Christ is all about. Get disciplined. Get consistent. Get your shit together. That's what I'm doing. I'm not judging you. I'm saying that's what I'm doing. Pull the log out of your eye. Stop pulling the straw out of others. Who cares what your neighbor is doing? What are you doing? This is the most critical time in human history, the most critical moment in our human history. We will never see a timeline like this again. We will never see a transfer like this again. Our kids won't see it. Do you realize how radical this transformation is? And I love that I'm so grateful that I get to do these videos. And I'm so grateful that I get to document this journey, because I get to look back on these videos and say, man, I'm glad that I spent my time researching this stuff. I'm glad that I stopped fighting an invisible enemy. I'm glad that I stopped pointing left and pointing right and looking up in the sky and looking down in the sea. And I'm glad that I looked internally and realized that I can, I will, I must, I will never give up. That my kids will see that I put effort in, that I did the best I could to unconditionally love humanity without expectations, that I loved God with all my heart. Therefore, I loved humanity as I love God. I treated others as I want to be treated, followed the golden rule, and I didn't judge you based on the way that you love God. I only love God the way that I know how to. And I created freedom, family structure, and peace. So what will you do in this moment? I love you. Warriors, rise, get your shit together. Let's go.